Welcome to everybody who is with us today. I would like to welcome you all to our 103rd anniversary pep rally, People Powered League. To start us off, the LWVUS team would like to present to you a poem, To Be of Use by Marge Piercy.
The people I love the best jump into work head first, without dallying in the shallows, and swim off with sure strokes almost out of sight. They seem to become natives of that element. The black, sleek heads of seals bouncing like half-submerged balls.
I love people who harness themselves, an ox to a heavy cart, who pull like water buffalo, with massive patience, who strain in the mud and in the muck to move things forward, who do what has to be done again and again.
I want to be with people who submerge in the task, who go into the fields to harvest and work in a row and pass the bags along, who are not parlor generals and field deserters, but move in a common rhythm when the food must come in or the fire be put out.
The work of the world is common as mud. Botched, it smears the hands, crumbles to dust. But the thing worth doing well done has a shape that satisfies, clean and evident. Greek amphoras for wine or oil, poppy vases that held corn are put in museums, but you know they were made to be used. The pitcher cries for water to carry, and a person for work that is real.
League leaders, today is February 14 and we commemorate the birthday of the League of Women Voters with collective action, advocacy, and storytelling. Women have powered democracy for over 100 years, and for our birthday, we're across our power for advocacy in 2023. Our CEO, Virginia K. Solomon, was ready to join us today, but she's feeling under the weather and won't be able to join us. Virginia, we miss you. We got this. Rest and get well soon. Let's go ahead and show our love and appreciation for Virginia and drop get well wishes on the chat. I am sure she will love to see them. Our theme is People Power League, and we are definitely showing our power across the country, our people power, as we prepare and engage during our state legislative sessions and get ready for elections. Everything from lobby days to trainings, to panel discussions, to phone banks and digital actions, to happy hours at breweries. League members are coming together in community to empower voters and defend democracy. You will hear directly from some of them in a few minutes, and I hope that their energy inspires you today and many days as we move forward. Now, please join me in welcoming our fearless leader, our president, Dr. Deborah Turner.
Hello, everybody. I just got to get my video to work. There we go. Hi, everyone. I apologize for once again my fingers being too fat to push the right button. So, good morning, dedicated members of the League of Women Voters, supporters, and friends. Happy Valentine's Day and happy Black History Month. On this special day, we gather to celebrate the power of the people and the hard work and dedication of our League members working hard in our states to empower voters and defend democracy. I am honored to stand before you as your League president and to share my thoughts on why this occasion is especially meaningful to us. Today, we celebrate our 103rd anniversary as we celebrate Black History Month also. From early leaders of the civil rights movements like Ida B. Wells to Fannie Lou Hamer, who fought to expand the vote to the vote to Black people and co-founded the Mississippi Freedom Party, Black women who have played an instrumental role in the voting rights movement. That's who they were, and there are many more. There are countless other Black women whose work has inspired and continues to inspire us to never stop fighting for justice, equity, and equal rights. And as we celebrate today, we are reminded that we still have more work to do. We must continue the fight at the state level to protect and expand voting rights. And you all know this better than anyone because you are the grassroots power on the front lines of this movement. The fight to make the promise of democracy real for everyone is also a fight for racial equity, women's rights, and equal representation for all under the law. The League empowers voters and defends democracy, and that is so worth celebrating today. As we celebrate and defend our democracy today, we know that our democracy is not equal if we cannot make decisions for our own bodies. In the aftermath of the Supreme Court reversing Roe v. Wade, women and those who can become pregnant have lost the fundamental reproductive rights afforded to generations before us. After this devastating decision was revealed, we have seen women and their supporters come together and make their voices heard. Our collective power is undeniable. Today, our country is stronger because of the incredible strength and resilience of women. We are long past due to finally ensure equality for women in the US Constitution. It has been 102 years since the 19th Amendment granted women the right to vote, 99 years since the Equal Rights Amendment was first introduced to Congress, 50 years since it was passed by Congress, and 2 years since it was ratified by the required 38 states. We must continue the fight for the Equal Rights Amendment and until it is the law of the land. We have an action on LWV.org and our outreach circle right now where people can demand that their representatives vote to add the ERA to the Constitution. Let's get gender equality enshrined in our Constitution once and for all. The League embodies the power of women to create a more perfect democracy, and I am endlessly proud of what we accomplished together. As we reflect and celebrate today, I want to remind us that each one of us has a part to play in the long campaign for a just, equitable world. Collectively, as League members, we have the power to make our country a better place for all. And I'm excited to do this work with you. So to the next 100 years and beyond, thank you and happy birthday.
Thank you so much, Dr. Turner, for those powerful and energizing words. But now let's hear it directly from our state League leaders. Today we have with us leaders from Minnesota, Kansas, Alabama, and Washington, D.C., who will share with us how they are commemorating our anniversary.
Welcome to Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes and the highest voter turnout in the nation. Well, okay, Colorado, Maine, and Wisconsin might have something to say about that. But I'm here today in the Justice's Dining Room, where we have League members testifying today and are preparing to hand out Valentines to our legislators to say thank you for their pro-democracy votes to date and to ask our senators to vote yes on Restore the Vote next week, which is thrilling to us all. So an opening shout out to all our League volunteers who power our democracy every day. Thank you, volunteers. So this year here in Minnesota, we're home to a legislative session with a majority that's passing bills we've previously only dreamed about. But the reality is this moment is only made possible because we've worked hard, we've organized, we've engaged, we've partnered, we've prepared, even when things were tough. And now all of those efforts like beans in a pot are spilling over to create a new multiracial democracy here in Minnesota. So for us, the PEP in PEP rally means number one, P, partners. We have some awesome younger and BIPOC leaders and organizations here with groups like our new coalition, We Choose Us, our Restore the Vote coalition, along with ERA Minnesota, Minnesota Environmental Partnership, we've made it our mission to be the best ally we can be and are proving very effective in mobilizing our members to talk with legislators and turning our members out for key organizing events like today. Partnerships and coalitions, groups where we share the power and put aside our ego for greater good are truly the key to our success here in Minnesota. And it's our goals to also create long-term partnerships that aren't just transactional for this or that bill, but for the future of what our democracy holds. Our lobby and observer corps is active and we're growing new leaders alongside our partners. It's a true gift right now. Number 2, equity, E for equity, or what is achieved when we treat everyone justly according to their circumstances. We are on the precipice of passing Restore the Vote, which will not only restore voting rights for 55,000 Minnesotans who are being welcomed back home after incarceration, but also for thousands of people who've long been eligible to vote, but were too frightened to navigate the confusion. We also passed the Crown Act to prevent discrimination based on hairstyles. And of course, the PRO Act, which is ensuring reproductive health is safe and sound here in Minnesota. And a clean energy bill. So we've been waving our pom-poms a lot. We're excited to have clean energy here in Minnesota to be carbon-free by 2040. So we're waving our pom-poms a lot, and we're looking at next at AVR, pre-registration of 16 and 17-year-olds, and possibly even the National Popular Vote Compact. So what's at the core of our issues is achieving equity or justice for all. And we know that's what all our members want. But lastly, I want to end today with our message of the third P, the P and last P in PEP, which I think is most important is perseverance. Bottom line, democracy all comes down to perseverance. We need to keep going even when it's tough. All the rights we enjoy here today are because people ahead of us blazed the trail and did the hard work. And it's our job to do the same for those behind us. Our work, it's messy sometimes, right? And it's unsure. We've been working on Restore the Vote for over a decade. And the last decade, we've lived with the legislature locked in partisan rancor. But we did the work anyway. We testified, educated, organized, wrote letters to the editor, talked to legislators, sent out action alerts, even when it didn't result in change. So we send out great hope to all of those who are fighting the hard fight and know that even though things may not be so great for you right now, we were prepared and you will be prepared too for when your day comes. It's our perseverance that keeps democracy powered up. You know, in essence, I feel like it's our 175th birthday because it's 103 years plus the 72 years of perseverance it took to get to the starting line. The League of Women Voters remains on the front line here in Minnesota and with our sister leagues across the country, working our PEP partners in equity and perseverance to create a more inclusive democracy. So happy birthday to League and big woohoo to all our members who continue to be civically engaged in service to our communities. From Minnesota, thank you.
Hi, I'm hearing from everybody on Facebook that the video is not playing sound. We're very sorry about that. If you give me 1 second, let me try playing that again. Sorry, everybody. I am hearing from everybody on Facebook that the video is not playing sound. We're very sorry about that.
Good morning, League of Women Voters. I'm Martha Pint. Good morning, League of Women Voters. I'm Martha Pint.
And I'm Jackie Lightcap.
And
We are the co-presidents of LWV Kansas. We're gathering here at the former Stout Elementary School in Topeka, Kansas, the evening before our 103rd birthday, and we have a powerful birthday celebration planned. By the time you're listening to this, we will be in the middle of our League Day at the Capitol, where we will gather with about 70 of our League members from across the state and speakers representing other advocacy groups in Kansas for a day of learning, preparation, and action.
We need to get ready to stand up for voting rights, for fair maps, for our reproductive freedom, for our health care, for our environment, and for democracy.
Wow,
There's so much at stake, and we need everyone
Are
to
you doing
participate
fine?
and engage.
Oh,
With
I
our
think you're
partners at the
fine.
ACLU, Alliance for a Healthy Kansas, and Loud Light, we will be ready to visit our elected officials, attend committee meetings and Senate sessions, offer educational sessions, and network with other League members and partners that care about democracy as much as we do.
We have shown what we can do when we work in partnership, uplift impacted voices, and follow the leadership of our young activists. We can win and good things happen. Like this past summer, when against all odds, Kansas voters protected the right to choose in our Constitution. We are proud of the work that we did together with our partners, and we carry that energy forward as our legislative
All the
session
people who
begins.
was chatting.
This work is hard, even exhausting at times, but we are determined. We never give up, we persevere, and we engage. Never give up on us or places like Kansas. We still have a ways to go, but we are strong, persistent, and forward-looking.
We are the People-Powered League.
All right, I guess I need to just express how that was very emotional. I appreciate all the words that we've heard from the other states. I am Kathy Jones. I am the president of the League of Women Voters from Alabama, and we're here to celebrate our birthday. 103 years never looked so good, did it? The League of Women Voters was founded in 1920 by the suffragists, and to carry on the work of the League. And the League has had a presence in Alabama ever since. Alabama has witnessed some of the most horrific examples of voter suppression, racial violence, and discrimination in the country. And in 1901, our elected leaders came together to create a constitution that was explicitly designed to codify white male supremacy, which suppress the rights of minorities, poor people, and those who have no power. And it's significant that in 1920, Alabama proactively went out and actually voted no on the 19th Amendment. And it wasn't until the 1950s that for some reason they felt compelled to ratify the 19th Amendment. So we've got a lot going on in Alabama, and it's not all good, but there are some good things that are happening. Last year, after 121 years, Alabama cleaned up their constitution to remove the racist language. There are still many laws on the books, though, that cause voter suppression. So voter suppression in Alabama has been here a long time. It's alive and well, and barriers to voting exist. Alabamians, though, have played a central role in the passage of the 19th Amendment. the 1964 Civil Rights Act and the 1965 Voting Rights Act. And while there are many serious challenges that exist, we have not given up. We're not giving in. We're persevering. We're working together with our members, our allies, and the government to make changes which would make Alabama more equitable, accessible, and compassionate. That is such an important thing for all of us to strive for. And we're following in the footsteps of many Alabama patriots who have been and continue to be directly engaged in the struggle for civil and voting rights. The League of Women Voters is actively involved in increasing civic and voter engagement. For example, we have a network of volunteers who have created a network for providing voting rights restoration services directly to disenfranchised citizens. And we're working with nonpartisan groups who have more direct connections within their communities so that we can do the backroom analysis that's needed to make sure that people get their rights to vote back. We are also coming to this year's 2023 Selma Jubilee to provide direct services to people who are attending the Jubilee Festival. We invite all of you to come join us. We're going to have a great time. We're going to be doing good work. And through our advocacy work, we are pushing to fix the Alabama laws, which still impose a poll tax on many of the citizens who have been disenfranchised with disqualifying felonies, who will never get to vote because they can't afford to pay the fines and fees and late fees and other costs that after they serve their sentences. Our Alabama advocacy team, League of Women Voters advocacy team, is something that we created that would bring together our state and local league members to work together to evaluate many of the legislative bills that come forth every year from the legislature. And through our efforts to understand the impact on these bills and to work directly with legislators, we have become a recognized and effective voice in Montgomery. And this advocacy collaboration is also helping us to engage our members and the public when we need to do calls to action. And this is, we hope, this will working alongside other voting rights groups and coming up with through our Alabama Voting Rights Coalition, which we helped to found, we're hoping that this helps us all come together with common ground so that we can be unified when we work with the legislature to get the bills passed and to defeat the bills that we oppose. Alabama is well known for having one of the worst records in government transparency. And they're proud of that reputation as far as I can tell. With no enforcement on open records laws, state legislative meetings are being live streamed since COVID started, but they're not being recorded. So our league members decided that we would set an example of what transparency in Alabama could look like. And so we had volunteers create the Alabama channel, which is a service where we record these live streams and archive them and make them searchable transcripts so that we feel like it's going to help the legislators do their job better. It's going to help the media know more about what's happening in Montgomery when they're not paying attention to certain committees and hearings. And it's also going to help us engage the public so that they know what's happening and they can be better informed and able to talk to their legislators. So this is we feel like is going to be transformational for Alabama, and it's definitely needed. It provides a historic record that Alabama needs of what their legislature is doing. And we're actively spreading the word about this tool at our Selma Jubilee Festival efforts that we're doing there. And one thing I wanted to mention is that we have been very closely working with the disability voting rights groups in Alabama. Most recently, during the inaugural Power of the South tour that the National League is carrying across the country, we invited the disability voting rights groups to speak with us and also with other more traditional voting rights groups, civil rights groups, who had not heard this message before, as far as what are the barriers that people with disabilities are facing when they go to vote. And so this has been a really powerful message. And it was just amazing to learn that Alabama has 31% of the population who experiences some form of disability. And this provides us another opportunity where we can try to do an intersectional, cross-sectional communications with people from all different parties. It affects anyone. It can affect you. It can affect you from birth through your life. You're going to hear about this from my friend, Jenny Lux, who was participating in that. And as we go forward to find ways to make a more powerful dialogue to bring in the voice of the disabled voters, we're going to become stronger. And I look forward to the challenge, and we're optimistic for the future. So Alabama's got challenges, but we're so happy to be here today, and we're looking forward to the future. Jenny, I want to introduce Jenny Lux, my friend from People First of Alabama, president of the state organization. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jenny Lux, and I am the state president of People First of Alabama. We are a self-advocacy organization run for and by people with developmental disabilities that has partnered with the League of Women Voters of Alabama. The national organization that we do fall under is called Self-Advocates Becoming Empowered, or SAVE. For states that want to start a disability voters' right movement in their states, you can please visit both the People First of Alabama website and the SAVE websites that are in the chat box. SAVE keeps up with all of the disability self-advocacy groups within the United States and its territories. You can also email me at the email address listed, and I would be happy to assist you. I am here today to talk about how we need to be a more compassionate, equitable, and inclusive nation where everyone with and without disabilities has the right to be represented. Because true freedom equals the right to vote. The disability voting rights movement can be a unifying springboard, since disability can occur from birth to the end of life. This fight requires everyone's voices until they are all heard and until all stories are told that represent our true democracy. The power that I speak of cannot be ignored once we all begin working together and building the foundation of power. With that strong foundation, we will be enabled to weather the storms of restrictions and policy changes that have come and are still coming. The restrictions imposed by various states on the disabled voters' rights before, during, and after COVID-19 has left voters of all abilities confused on their rights. It reflects that what we currently call democracy has much that does need improvement. We can no longer be complacent, wring our hands, and say, oh, well, we can't fight the proposed voter suppression laws that could become our future. We must be mighty in our voices and the actions we take in unity. No longer will we watch our freedom shrink, as the right to vote on our future is a fundamental right that has been granted to us by our ancestors, regardless of any differences. It starts with the belief that we can do something about the systemic voter suppression, disabled or not. We all experience disability, or if you'd like to think of it, an inability to do something sometime within your lifespan. In the end, the intersectionality or variety of people that make up the disability voter rights, that should unite us, not divide us. I ask you to gather with me now and proclaim, no more disability voter suppression. No more disability voter suppression. Thank you.
Wow. I need to come after that. Woo. Well, thank you. Thank you, Jenny. I'm Ann Anderson from Washington, D.C. I'm the chair of our Full Rights Committee, Full Rights for D.C. Citizens. On your screen, you see a way to join us. We're going to be using Outreach Circle to streamline our updates and calls for action. So please join Outreach Circle either by clicking on that little QR code or going to Outreach Circle and searching for us, the League of Women Voters of the District of Columbia. So I moved to DC in 1964, and that was the first year that DC residents could vote for president since 1801. It was also the beginning of a functioning democracy, even though we're still limited in DC. I mean, imagine people having to figure out how to learn to campaign for office, to run. You know, those were the things that we've had to do. Now, the League of Women Voters in DC advocated for full rights from our birth, which is 103 years ago too. Back then, the founders called us the Voteless League of Women Voters because the 19th Amendment did not apply to the District of Columbia. And by the way, the National League has advocated for full rights for us since 1938. So I started advocating for statehood in 1971 when this plan to reduce the footprint of the Capital District and free the rest of DC to apply for statehood was proposed. So jumping forward to 2016, it was a watershed moment in our struggle for full rights because DC voted 86% in favor of applying for statehood. And since then, the US League and the DC League, we've educated thousands of people. We've visited 30 states. We've provided Zoom presentations. We still can provide Zoom presentations if you need one in your state. And we worked with coalitions fighting voter suppression. We've showed up at rallies and demonstrations in DC. So we've made progress. The statehood bills passed the House twice. That was historic. They got stalled in the Senate. And our national poll recently showed that 54% of the respondents actually favored DC statehood. So we've made historic progress. And with the new Congress, DC statehood needs to stay on the radar, and we have to fight off congressional meddling in local laws and budget. So let me just give you a few examples of how we suffer when we are not a state. For instance, the Congress prevented us from having needle exchanges. So we ended up having the highest rate of HIV infection in the country. And the couple years where they weren't able to get that rider through, our infection rate dropped by 50%. So, you know, it actually affects our lives. January 6th, our mayor could not call out the National Guard without checking with the president. So we still have riders preventing the use of local funds to help low-income women and preventing the regulation of sale of marijuana. So right now we have meddling going on without even a month into the current Congress. They have passed 2 disapproval resolutions that are headed for the Senate. We voted to allow non-citizens to vote in local elections like many other local jurisdictions do. And we finally got our century-old DC criminal code revised, you know, after spending 10 years looking at it and having hearings and everything. And now they're saying, no, we don't like it. So they didn't have a hearing on the Hill. They just said, no, we won't do this. And that's what they can do. And of course, during their debates about it, they used their usual scare tactics. There will be foreign interference. We're soft on crime. These are always used against DC with dog whistle phrases included to play to constituents. So that's how DC is often used. We want to stop that. We want to become a state. And guess what? The people who are most concerned about a community's public safety and election integrity are the people who live in those communities. DC is no different. We have 700,000 people here who we have really talked and worked on these things. So we need your help to keep statehood on the radar and fight off the meddling. These will not be the last attacks on DC. So building our network is critical to our success. So please join our Outreach Circle network and help DC become the 51st state. It would be lovely to have that happen. Thank you.
Wow, congratulations to all of you for your hard work and success. We so much appreciate your leadership and your drive. And I hope that all of you watching are inspired as I am. I am fired up. Now, you heard Dr. Turner mention, and you also heard how the DC League is using Outreach Circle to organize and build power for DC statehood. Today, 120 C leagues in 44 states are using this powerful digital relational organizing technology to leverage their efforts and engage their communities. In 1 month from now, supporters on Outreach Circle will be asked to join League in Action, our new enhanced Outreach Circle app that will be branded by the League of Women Voters. Imagine the power of that. Using League in Action will not change anything that you are doing right now on Outreach Circle. And downloading the app and signing in, it's all it takes to take full advantage of our new branded LWV. Yes, we are growing, we are modernizing, and we are powering our leagues. If your league has yet to adopt this tool, there is still time and plenty of resources to do so. Do it without delay. So we are ready for action this year and the next. Thank you all for joining us today and for powering our league every day. And to close us off, let's hear it back from Dr. Turner. Dr. Turner?
Thank you, Alma. And thank you to everyone who has been here today and shared. It's been a wonderful day, and it's been so exciting to find out the work that has been being done out in our states. We clearly understand that the state leagues and particularly the local leagues are the boots on the ground. They're doing the hard work, and we need to hear from everybody, because once we share the work we are doing, we get ideas to do it in our own areas. So just remember, we are powerful, we are strong, we are dedicated, and we will not be deterred. We are the League of Women Voters. And if we could withstand 103 years, we will certainly withstand another 103. The work we do today will pave the way for those who will come after, just like the work our fellow leaguers and activists did for us. We have mighty shoulders to stand on, but we have mighty shoulders for others to stand on after us. I will not be here in 103 years. So today I do this work as you do for those who will come afterwards. So I cheer you on, LWV. I have your back, and I am honored to work with you and for you every day. Be safe, be happy, and find a little Valentine joy. Happy birthday, everybody. Have a good day.